The white flag is waving. Brewer's right on the bumper bar of Wiley. He goes the inside line. They're going the outside line. Oh boy, they've tried every which way.
Wiley's using the banking. He's ran high. He's taken that high entry into the track, trying to use the banking for a slip shot.
He's touched him. He's touched him. Brewer's touched him. And this has allowed Eddie Abel-Neser to come around the outside. He's holding the lead. Abel-Neser, the cheapest car in Melbourne.
And Brewer up the inside.
Oh, here comes Preddy as well. He's going to pass Wiley. Wiley's gone back to number 4. What a race, Eddie Abel-Neser.
Yeah, spoke to him earlier today. He's a great guy, great ambassador for the sport. And, you know, it's fantastic to see him finally take his first win here on the Thunderdome.
And Nathan Prendergast, you're down there, no doubt. Eddie's not going to be cheap tonight, is he?
Not at all. He's got a big grin on his face. What a race, Eddie. Round the outside at the end. Congratulations, your first ever win.
Yeah, look, I'm so thrilled. I started crying the last lap on the car. I'm not sorry to say, I don't cry very often, but it's taken so long to get our win on the board. I'd first like to thank our fantastic crew. Without them, we couldn't have done it. It's been so much off-season work. I'd like to thank also Dulux Auto Colour for supporting us with all the paintwork and the excellent Duco in the car. And also to a #1 sponsor, which happens to be me, Melbourne's cheapest cars. We're just lucky we're selling some cars so I can go racing.
Cars gave the Eddie the outside run there. Jason almost lost it, did a great job to hang on to it. Marshall certainly didn't back out of it, but you know, to watch that guy's face win that race, it just goes to show you, like, it takes more than money, it takes more than hard work, it takes your heart and your soul.
Eddie Abel-Neser, though, having his share of bad luck through the middle of the season, knows that a good result will bump him up the championship standings. Just 12 points, the difference between Rodney Jane in 4th and Abel-Neser in 6th. Eddie had a great lap, putting the Melbourne's cheapest cars entry on pole position for the second time this season.
Here today, the top 10 cars have had a chance at a shootout to earn $1,000, and here's the lap that Eddie Abel-Neser ran to win $1,000 into the pits, looking for his crew. There they are. He needs to stop right inside his own bay. Guys are on the run now. Jack goes under. Got to change both those outside wheels. All lug nuts have to go back on and be tightened to 55 pounds. They'll be checked directly after his run. Down with the Jack and away he goes. Back out for one more lap.
Eddie Abel-Neser, fantastic job. You qualified on pole in official qualifying, and you went out in the pit stop competition with the help of your crew. Got pole. Great job.
Thanks very much, Brad. I mean, I wasn't going to give that pole position away the first one we worked so hard for, and thanks to Goodyear for supplying the incentive for the pit stop award. And also, the award's really not so much for me, it's for the team. And maybe it's a bit of the old Brad Jones teammanship. We've got one of your old blokes here. Maybe that's what helped us.
Wiley the way around when they had this meeting. Marshall only just missing Eddie Abel-Neser on his way to the infield and eventual retirement. Gene Carr, number 4, Eddie Abel-Neser has made a surge forward. He's been lurking and looming around. Now he puts his nose up on the inside of Bruce Williams.
Bruce knows he's there. He's squeezing him there. He doesn't want to let him through. But I'll tell you what, Matthew took a look up the inside there, and he was about to take advantage of them two playing cat and mouse.
Well, it's quite a good contrast and quite a good comparison. We've got the young and the old, and I don't mean the old disrespectfully, but maybe more experienced drivers. And Eddie and Bruce Williams are keen to really mix it with this young mob, and they're doing just that. Eddie Abel-Neser, our new race leader. Eddie Abel-Neser's car.
I think it's a tyre rubbing, Lee. I don't think it's oil. I think the tyre's rubbing as he goes through the turn. No, maybe not. It looks like it could be oil.
Is hard luck for Eddie Abel-Neser. He was running so well, so confident and strong. A lot of smoke streaming from the back of the Melbourne's cheapest cars entry.
Lee, let's hope if that is oil that he can get down off the racing line and not spread oil all the way around the racetrack here.
Well, can't see anything being dropped on the circuit. Eddie now drops to the inside line, and that looks like it will be the end of this race for Eddie Abel-Neser. Very disappointing indeed, and Eddie will just be shell-shocked.
He sure will. He really put a big effort into this race. He was very confident, and that's a real shame, Lee.
His preparation is so methodical. His team are so professional, and and they just don't deserve this to happen to them.
Doing a fine job out there on those old tyres, but he's really working for it.
Let's go on board the fast track racing machine.
Look at Eddie, almost sideways.
Mark Seaton and Eddie Abel-Neser coming in contact there that season, and Eddie Abel-Neser's got away to a great start, along with the current points leader in Matty White.
And look at them pour it on, Lee. Eddie and Matty off to a good start, trying to streak away. Not quite able to get a big lead right from the word go, but they're really hammering at it.
So is our race 1 winner, Eddie Abel-Neser, the Melbourne Cheapest Cars number 9 Chev, is starting to make up some ground as well. And Phil, this is starting to turn out to be quite an interesting race when we take into account the pit stops that are going to take place as well. I think we're going to see a lot of lead changes in this race and maybe a surprise outcome at the finish. Chips with it, the 16 car back out on the track. There's Eddie Abel-Neser, the Melbourne Cheapest Cars Chev Monte Carlo. That car a little bit cheaper with a bit of a ding in the left rear quarter. Lap 20 of 30, so we're at 2/3 race distance with Stubber still out in front of Abel-Neser, James, Nolan and Middleton. The last of the pit stops are yet to take place. Jane, Lance Harrison, Fisher and Medicki round out the top 10. But as cars come into the pits, change rubber, put some fresh tyres on and also a little bit more fuel in, we will see that leaderboard change dramatically. I would expect anyway, Phil.
Well, Ken James also doing a great job. Speaking about Eddie Abel-Neser, look right behind him. There is Ken James in the 01 machine, and they're both trying to move through on one of the slower cars there. And Ken's been getting faster and faster and more comfortable as the race weekend goes on. A guy who's 158 cube Chevs and Fords with the little tyre. Oh, it's Stubber trying to find a way around him. It doesn't take long to burn up those rear tyres and all of a sudden make that car loose, or in normal road racing terms, as Stubber and Abel-Neser come together, that is oversteer and a rounding steer, and Abel-Neser has gone into the wall. Tight kits, and a tremendous job that Revell have done with that. James looking for the inside line on Abel-Neser, but not that time. That Cheapest Cars Chev just holding him out currently. These two guys are second and third on the racetrack, and Abel-Neser took his first NASCAR win in the earlier race today, the first of the two 12-lap races. This one, the 30-lap finale, really going to test the teams as well as the drivers because of those pit stops coming into play and also tyre wear. So James climbing all over the back of the number 9 car, looking for a way past. The 01 car goes to the outside, which will then turn into the inside line. And will he have enough this time? It doesn't look as though he will. Abel-Neser just closing the door that time.
Well, I think it was a matter of doing something completely different to what everyone else was going to do. It was going to work or it wasn't going to work, and as soon as that yellow came out at about sort of lap 12, I knew that we were in the seat for running. And I think also it was Kenny James was behind us. I don't know what happened to him, but it was just good.
And Eddie Abel-Neser out in front of Paul Stubber. Kim James, Neville Lance and Ken James are our top 5. Phil Brannigan, this has been an interesting race. Certainly not the fastest ever race around Barbagallo, but one where tactics are starting to come into play. Abel-Neser appears to have read the conditions and the track to perfection. That is why, with just a couple of laps remaining, he's out in front.
Well, he's actually played it a little bit conservative over the back half of the race. That yellow worked to his advantage in lap 12, and he really has made every post a winner since then, and he deserves his victory. He won earlier. That was his first breakthrough win, and he's looking very strong on the last lap of this race.
A little bit dark here as well at Barbagallo. Unfortunately, those lights, the headlights that you see on the front of the NASCARs aren't real, so you can't turn them on to get the vision better.
Well, it's tough. I mean, imagine if we had a 24-hour NASCAR race here in the West. I think we're onto something.
Oh, yes, you never know. Mark Harrison right on the tail of Abel-Neser, but don't count him in the running. Abel-Neser appears to be heading towards victory lane for the second time this weekend, and a tremendous job for the Melbourne Cheapest Cars team. Abel-Neser brings that number 9, the big Chevy, the heavy Chevy, down the hill on the brakes, around the loop. He'll head up the main straight here for the last time and towards the checkered flag.
But he's been a winner in sportsman racing. He's been a winner in OSCAR racing. Made the move in the NASCAR racing. He was competitive, but he didn't get his breakthrough win until earlier in the day. And once he wins a lot.
Something about that winning feeling, you just like to get a hold of it. You get the taste of it, you want to do it again and again. And Abel-Neser does. He takes the checkered flag here at Barbagallo Raceway to win race 3. Paul Stubber about to come home in second position, and a great job for the second of the Bruce Peacock team drivers. Eddie Abel-Nika, our winner on screen. Melbourne cheapest cars.